They
Could you
called
please
her
the task
weak.
from Image described
They
in your
called
range
her
3?
unfit.
Could you
They
plead the
called her a
task and count?
mistake who somehow slipped into the unit. The general made sure everyone heard his insults as he kicked her in the ribs in front of the entire formation. Warriors stood frozen, convinced the girl on the ground was nothing but a fragile rookie. 3 seconds later, their illusion shattered when the same general fell to his knees, clutching his throat, begging the one person he had underestimated more than anyone. The woman who had trained the Navy SEALs. ***, what city are you watching from today? If this story resonated with you, hit subscribe for more real stories about extraordinary people. ***. Her name was Lily Hart. At 29, she carried a past that no one in this new base knew. She moved like a shadow, quiet and respectful, never raising her voice or her profile. She had joined the Army under a different credential for reasons she refused to share. To everyone around her, she was a basic recruit, barely passing the fitness test and always keeping to herself. The base was known for its harsh discipline. Recruits often described it as a grinding wheel that shaved away weakness. The General Marcus Hawley was feared and respected. He demanded perfection and punished imperfection without hesitation. He ruled with a rigid iron approach that did not tolerate softness or secrets. Lily worked through every drill in silence. She followed orders, carried extra weight, and accepted every punishment without protest. What the others did not know was that she wanted it that way. Every bruise, every blister, every insult was a cover. She had chosen to hide. She knew the moment her identity surfaced, everything would change. Her goal was simple: ensure the base was ready for an inspection that could determine the future of the unit. She had been sent quietly to observe, evaluate, and protect if needed, but the general saw her as a weak point, and weakness, in his eyes, deserved humiliation. One morning, the recruits assembled on the training field, battered from a long week. The wind was dry and sharp. Marcus Hawley paced in front of the formation, stepping with the pride of a man who believed no one outranked him. His eyes locked on Lily. He shouted at her for moving too slowly. He called her dead weight. He yelled at the entire unit, claiming she was the reason their performance dropped during evaluations. Lily took the blame without blinking. The others hated this. Some defended her behind closed doors, but publicly they stayed silent. No one crossed the general. During combat drills, Hawley ordered Lily to fight a soldier named Brooks. Brooks refused. He liked Lily and hated the general's cruelty. Hawley stepped in with frustration, demanding the pair engage at full force. When Brooks refused again, Hawley snapped. He strode toward Lily and, without warning, drove his boot into her ribs. The entire unit gasped. Lily hit the ground hard but caught her breath and pushed herself up. Hawley glared at her with disgust and shouted his insult. Weak BTCH. The words hit her harder than the kick. Lily felt the pain rise in her ribs, but a deeper ache reached the surface. She had endured pain with discipline all her life. She had been taught to withstand suffering and maintain control. But something inside her shifted that day. It was not rage. It was understanding. She realized the general was not simply strict. His methods were abusive. And every soldier watching deserved to know the truth of who she was. Hawley stepped closer to kick her again. The unit remained frozen. No one dared move. Lily raised her hand lightly, a gesture that asked him to stop. It was calm, deliberate, and strangely confident. Hawley only grew angrier. He lifted his foot once more. For 3 years she had kept her identity buried. For 3 years she had avoided revealing the truth. But this moment required something different. Not for her. For the entire unit. ***, before Hale's boot touched her a second time, Lily caught his ankle with one hand. The motion was so fast the soldiers flinched. Hawley looked down in shock, trying to force his leg free. Her grip did not move. She stood up smoothly. The man who had insulted her and humiliated her now stared into the eyes of someone he no longer recognized. She announced her real identity with a calm voice. Her full rank as Lieutenant Commander Lily Hart, Navy SEAL instructor, classified to everyone except Pentagon officials. She stated that she had been assigned undercover to evaluate leadership integrity and combat readiness. The moment was silent. Then Lily moved Dot in 3 controlled seconds. She rotated Hale's ankle, took his balance, and drove him to the ground with a technique only elite operatives knew. She pinned him without brutality, only precision. He tried to reach for her arm. She redirected his hand and locked his wrists. His face tightened in pain. The general, the man who believed he was untouchable, began to beg. His voice cracked as he pleaded with her to stop. He asked for understanding. He asked for forgiveness. But Lily never inflicted more pain than necessary. She only held him there, letting the truth settle over the field. For the first time, the unit understood who she was. She had trained soldiers stronger than any of them. She had mentored operatives who carried out missions no one spoke about. She had walked through environments that would break ordinary warriors. And she had done all of it without a single word of praise or recognition. She released. Hale stepped back. Asterisk, asterisk. The general was removed from command after her report. Investigators took over. The soldiers who once doubted Lily now approached her with respect. Not because of her title, but because she had shown them a different kind of strength. Quiet strength. Controlled strength. The strength to take hits, endure insults, and still rise without hatred. Lily met with the recruits over the next few days. She trained them with patience and discipline. She corrected mistakes with firm guidance rather than fear. Under her leadership, the unit improved with remarkable speed. They realized that real strength was not about power or intimidation. It was about responsibility. One evening, as the sun lowered behind the barracks, Brooks asked her a simple question. Why did you hide your rank for so long? She answered with honesty. True leadership is best seen when people do not know they are being evaluated. And sometimes the greatest lessons come not from showing strength, but from watching how others treat those they believe are weak. The unit never forgot that. It changed the way they trained, the way they led, and the way they saw themselves. Lily concluded her assignment with a final message to the soldiers. Never underestimate the quiet ones. They might be carrying a story that could save you someday. What did this story make you feel? Where are you watching from? Subscribe to Soul Relief Stories for more real stories that heal the heart.